My name is Lee Song Tan. Actually, I'm a oncological surgeon. So today we're talking about something about cancer. Actually, the name actually is the principle and practice of oncology. So I'm from the oncological surgery department in the First April Hospital of Zhejiang University Medical College. We know actually, the tumor actually is a big mass, for molecular, for cell level actually is an altered cell population characterized by an excessive non-useful population of cells that have become unresponsive to normal control mechanism and to the organizing influence of adjacent tissue. We can see, for tumor in the leg, big tumor, also for the breast, actually for the nipple, actually is necrosis. We can classify the tumor. First, the tumor actually is very common. Benign tumor, for example, for younger lady, for breast fibroadenoma, and also for much common, the malignant tumor, for example, if we come from the epithelial cell, we call it carcinoma. Also, another kind of the tumor we call the sarcoma. Of course, some tumor can be between benign and malignant, so we call the borderline tumor. This slides we can see, actually this slides for the come from United States. Actually, for every year, for the government of the United States will came out for these slides for every year. We can see for the new patients, for the cancer, top 10 cancer, for example, for the male, actually it's a prostatic cancer, and also lung cancer is very common. For colon and some other cancers also is common. For the woman, we can see, of course, it's breast cancer. Also for lung cancer, also colon cancer, and also is very common. We can see some thyroid for the woman actually is pretty common, but for men actually not very common. If we see for the mortality, for lung cancer, even not for the first, for the most common, but we can see for the survival rate, for the mortality actually is the top one. For the prostatic, even it's very common, it's the most common, but it's the second for the mortality. Colon cancer actually is similar, for the incidence rates and with mortality. Some other is not very common. The tumor, for example, for pancreatic cancer, it's even not very common, but for the mortality is very high. For the woman, we can see, for lung cancer, breast cancer, and also colon cancer, it's the top 3 types of cancer. Unfortunately, for our country, we do not like that the United States. We can get very accurate data for support these slides. But for very common tumor, even for the woman is breast and also lung cancer. But for men, actually, for our country, probably for the gastric, for the liver cancer, and also lung cancer. We can see, how can, which kind of the factor can result in the tumor. Actually, we call it what's the etiology of the cancer. Also, we can call it what's the factor for carcinogenesis. Actually, we can see, for some, biological factor for virus, and also for some bacteria. It's a very important factor. For example, somebody, if infected with hepatitis B, hepatitis C, actually for this kind of patient, actually it's very easy to result in some liver cancer and so on. of course, some chemical effect, for example, for we can smoke cigarettes, also for we can eat some not very healthful food and so on. So chemical effect also is very important. Of course, some physical effect, for example, radiation is a very, very important factor for some kind of tumor. For example, for thyroid carcinoma, actually for radiation is a very, very important factor. Also, for some women, for example, for breast cancer, it's a very important factor for some kind of tumor for women. Also, some kind of tumor for men. For example, prostatic tumor. It's actually is related with some for hormone factor. Also, some diet and energy intake. For example, somebody is too fat. Of course, well, actually is very easy to result in some cancer. Some also we can see actually cancer genetics also is a very important factor because some kind of tumor actually is a hereditary disease. For example, some HMPCC or APC and some FAP tumor and so on. This kind of tumor actually is very close to relation with some regulatory factor. Also, for the molecular level, also now research find out a lot of things. For example, for oncogene and also some tumor spread gene. Actually, these two types of gene actually is normal gene, but it's a very close relationship with the tumor growth. So it's an important factor. Also, for example, for signal transduction, some oncogene, just like RAS gene, for some extracellular growth factor for some cis gene, and also some gene, just like RET gene, actually is a receptor tyrosine kinesis, and also some nuclear protein and transcriptional factor also is very important factor, important gene. For example, BRCA1, BRCA2, and MAKE and JOM and so on. Some cell cycle gene, and also some factor, just a relation with some DNA damage response, for example, for P53 in RB, and also some, for DNA mismatch repair gene, just like HMSH and MDM2, and so on. This example, how some gene it actually affects the cell growth. This is some cell signal transduction pathway. We can see, for receptor tyrosine kinesis, and go through the cell membrane. For example, some gene just like a GRB2, and also just RAS go to RAF, and also MERK, and also go through the mechanism, and also so it lasts still may stimulate the cell growth. So some gene, just with the cell growth, we call the oncogene, and also we another call the proto-oncogene, just like the RAS, MAKE, FB2, SAC, and the C-FOS or C-JOM, and so on. Another gene, just like tumor spread gene, for example, for RB, P53, APC, and so on. Actually, this is the kind of gene, actually the anti-tumor. So this kind of tumor, something happened, lost his function. Actually, some patients will very easy to suffer with some tumor. Also, there's another kind of tumor gene, just like SH2, HMLH1, and so on. Actually, it's relationship with DNA damage and repair. So we can see, for tumor oncogene and the tumor spread gene, actually it's a balance. If some factor, just like a tissue cell number, we can see, if the cell number population is much more, and for the cell death is less, actually the tumor will grow. Otherwise, the tumor will degrade, will degrade. So this example, how for molecular level, how for the molecular events, how to affect normal mucosa, and also go to the adenoma, and also go to the carcinoma, and also metastasis. Actually, we can see slides. A lot of molecular events involve the different steps. So actually, we call for different tumor. Actually, this example, how to explain, for different molecular events, how to infect for the whole the tumor developing procedure. Of course, for tumor kinetics is very important. For example, actually tumor is a heretogenesis disease. So different tumor, different part of tumor actually different. Also, for three fraction factor of malignant cell, also is a very important concept. Also for apoptosis of cell cycle and the growth pattern also is a very important phenomenon. Also, we have some concept for malignant cell, how to go through for metastasis, also for extracellular metastasis. For example, for fibro tissue, also fibroblasts, and also macrophage, lymphocyte, and leukocyte, and so on. Also, for kinetics of tumor, actually involve a couple of things. For here, actually mentioned in three compartments. One for growth fraction, also another for chronogenic fraction. The last one actually end cell fraction. Actually, we mentioned some phenomena, very important phenomena for apoptosis. Apoptosis actually is a normal phenomenon of the cell death. But some gene actually relationship with apoptosis. Here actually for CD gene family and ICE gene family, also for p53, for fast and fast ligands, c-MYC and c-JON, and so on. Also, some gene actually for its function is for anti-apoptosis. For example, for BCL2 gene families, also for surviving and so on. This cartoon actually shows us, some. Actually, it's a very complicated cartoon. We can see a lot of signal transduction pathway here. At last, a lot of things actually relationship with apoptosis is very complicated. So something actually is promotes to apoptosis. Some molecular events actually is anti-apoptosis. Kinetic of tumor actually also involve the cell cycle. We know that the cell cycle actually composed of G phase, S phase, G2 phase, and M phase, and some cell actually is a G0 phase. This is a cell cycle slides. Actually, different phase. Actually, some different gene involved here. This slide shows us everybody, actually every human being, actually there are 23 actually it's 46 chromosomes. Actually, there are a lot of gene, or we can call it it's a gene. Actually, it's a DNA or DNA sequence there. So all the human beings, the very important secrets actually is chromosome. Also, some cancer actually it's happened just in relation with some tumors and also cell aging, and it's a relationship with tumors and the cell aging. This is a cartoon showed us what's the normal cells, also for the stem cell or tumor cell, how to overcome for the critical terminal. Also, for the tumor invasion and metastasis actually released a lot of something else effect. Also, for some spread way, for example, for the direct spread, also for the lymph node metastasis, and also for vessel metastasis. Also, some sites actually is very favorite for some kind of tumor metastasis. For example, for lung cancer, actually it's very easy metastasis to the bone and so on. Also, some important thing, related with metastasis. Here we mentioned something, actually, for important thing, for some, loss of cell adhesion, also for some, proteolytic enzyme production. Also, we can see, for tumor metastatic spread, what's the weight for tumor spread? One thing for direct extension, also for lymphatic spread, and also for vascular spread, and some tumor, of course, spread goes through some serious cavity. For example, gastric cancer can go through the abdominal cavity go through, so spread them. This is a cartoon, how for the blood vessel spread, how can through the blood vessel spread, For example, for some normal cell here, after the normal cell, grows up, actually this for here actually even we can see some cancer cell, but it's there isn't actually is no angiogenesis there. So even cancer cell there, but at that time actually it's do not actually is cancer metastasis. But in that time, after that time, with the angiogenesis, with the tumor vessel there, so some tumor cell actually go through the vessel. So with the vessel, with the blood flow, go to the another side and spread. It's also a cartoon for the tumor cell here. This actually is inside the cancer. Even a lot of cancer cells, but cancer metastasis, but with the tumor angiogenesis at last, but can go through the vessel, go through the lymphatic spread, at last, can go to the lung and metastasis to lung. Same way, also this is a cartoon, for the cancer in situ, and with the tumor growth, with the tumor vessel growth, so some cancer cell go through the vessel, just with the blood flow, go to another side. For example, can penetrate the vessel, go to the lung, at last, stay the lung, and metastasis to the lung. A lot, of course, actually a lot of genes, just related with tumor growth and the tumor spread and the tumor metastasis, Here, a lot of stuff, what's happened, and also, why at last, the tumor metastasis formation. Here, this slide actually shows us, which kind of tumor actually is very easy to metastasis to some tissue or some organ. For example, if the lung cancer, if lung cancer is